Alright, hello, nice to meet you. Hey, sorry for not responding right away. Here's your response. So you had asked me about my thoughts on existentialism. I don't know. My biggest problem with answering that question is I'm not really sure what existentialism means. I've tried reading about it quite a few times, and I've tried asking a lot of people what they think about it, and no one really seems to be able to give me a solid answer. Or definition. A lot of people say that existentialism in itself cannot be defined, which to me isn't even enough for a word to exist. So generally, when it comes to existentialism, I try to just answer like, what is my feelings about what drives me, what wakes me up in the morning, what am I doing, why am I doing it, what makes me happy, why does it make me happy? Just trying to answer the questions of just about our existence, really. For me, a lot of it has to do with kind of just accepting the fact that there are certain things within us that we all kind of will tend to share. Certain instincts. I have another video about where I talk with a guy about instincts, and I have another video called Divine Instincts where I discuss where some of the negative instincts will come from and how that seems to draw a lot of questions to the existence of a God. The biggest problem I have when people talk about the purpose of life is they tend to expect it to be something beyond human. And I don't think that there's a reason to expect that. I think that's an unreasonable expectation, and if you do expect that sort of thing, and without that expectation being fulfilled, you find that there's no reason to even go on. Well, I think that coming to the conclusion that there's no purpose beyond what is human, and then jumping to the conclusion that, oh, well, I can just give up now and kill myself, or it doesn't really matter what I do, everything's relative, nothing matters, blah, 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 I'm an evil atheist, blah, 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 this is just nonsense, this is irresponsible. What you're doing is you're basically ignoring some facts about your existence. It doesn't matter necessarily where they come from. The fact is that we can acknowledge that they are there. These are things like the urge to live comfortably, the urge to avoid negative feelings such as sadness and pain and discomfort, to avoid those sorts of things. There are certain things that we innately will strive for, and there are certain things we will innately strive against. To deny these things, to think that it doesn't matter because there's nothing more than just than what's human inside of you, it doesn't take away the fact that you are human. We know you're human. We know these things are inside of you. So I think that to live responsibly and honestly to yourself, at least, you should acknowledge these. And now, the next level is realizing that a lot of these have to do with others and caring for others around you and living with others, cooperating with others, being kind to others, living in a part of society. These are things that are as human as breathing. They are very much a part of us, and for some reason people are rationalizing against them, and the reason is because that sometimes there are conflicting instincts. This instinct says this, and this instinct says that, and this emotion says this, and what I learned to do says that, and they all kind of go slightly different ways. And the trick is to find out, how can you live in a way that fulfills the most instincts and fulfills the most inner room for fulfillment without destroying parts of yourself? So, I mean, I really do think that in every situation you will have to make a sacrifice. No matter what you're doing, there's a part of you, there's some sort of instinct that wants to do something else, be it like you have to get to work and you're late, but you're really hungry, so you have something inside of you saying, hey, eat some food. But you're like, no, I can't, I gotta get to work. There's other things, there's more important things that will be resolved. There are more things I would lose by taking that time to eat and maybe getting fired than I would lose by just not getting to eat a snack before work. So that's just my mindless ramble about existentialism. I'm not really sure if that really answered what you were trying to get at. What do you think about existentialism? What do you What are your thoughts on it? How do you define it? Maybe you can help me out with that definition. I'm not really sure about the whole definition thing. So why don't we start with there? What do you think about the definition? Hope to hear from you soon.